Hey guys, welcome to Meet the Fiction bookmark. So in front of you here, I have my Google Slides up and I'm going to go over some of the pages with you. And then I also put the Google Slides without my video so that you could just view it on your own. I hope you've printed this or you've maybe recreated it on a notebook paper or copy paper, whatever you have. So color along with me. You can use any kind of writing utensil to color with me. And let's meet the fiction bookmark. So number one, we're going to talk about how each fiction book has a title and an author. So I'm going to make that book orange. And of course, the title is what the book is called, its name. And then what do we call the person who writes the book? The author. And then sometimes the author is also the person who draws the pictures, or sometimes this is a separate person. Who is the person who draws the pictures? The illustrator. Good work. Okay. So secondly, in many of fiction books, you're going to have characters in your story. Now, Mrs. Smith was not able to find the shape of a gingerbread man. So instead, I just gave him a cheeky little smile to go with his silly little expression. And here we have the characters. So usually when you're listing characters, you're looking for the most important characters in the story. And in the story you will read today called Hamster Chase, those characters are very apparent. If we hear about other characters from a conversation, but we never actually meet them or see them or learn much about them, then they are either minor characters or not a character at all. It's just a piece of information that the author gave us. All right, so next, I was able to make a little green tree. Then the tree, of course, stands for the setting. Where is this story taking place? Is it in the future? Is it now? Is it in the past? Is it on the moon? Is it in a forest? Is it under the water? Is it in your home, in your friend's home, or in a home you don't know? Is it in a school? Next, in most fiction stories, you're going to have a problem kickoff. This is where the problem is introduced and it's like, problem. So here I have got a nice red ball. So, and you notice that it's a kick-off because there's a soccer ball being kicked, right? So that's the point where it tells you, oh, I now know what the problem is that they have to try to solve. Next, at the beginning of that problem, you want to start thinking about how the characters are feeling. And each character may have his or her own feelings on the matter. Sometimes if the character is nefarious, or we might use the term bad, or someone who has bad intentions, then they might be happy that the problem occurred. But if the character is positive and is a hero, then you know that if there's a problem happening, that person is probably not feeling too good about it. All right, so next we have, now this is where you address what happens first, and then what happens second. Generally, this is like the different ways that the characters try to solve the problem. And most of the time, characters will use one or two or three ways in order to solve a problem. And then hopefully, once we get to the third way, we have found the way to solve the problem. Now, in this last part, they also want you to be thinking about what is the most exciting or the most important thing that happens. Generally, that's how the problem is solved. That's the most exciting part. Okay, then we have this beautiful present, which means it's all wrapped up, and we can recite or we can understand how the story came to a conclusion, how the problem was solved or not solved. And then lastly, we do another check-in. How are those characters feeling? I bet that nefarious character is not feeling so good about not winning this one. And I bet that the heroine or the hero is feeling really positive about that problem being fixed. All right, so next, let's take a look at this next picture of the slides. So this one I added just for fun. I was looking out my window and I saw this little guy and he was flat on that branch taking a nice nap. And I thought to myself, what a beautiful thing to share and to see. Are you seeing beautiful things like this in nature around you? All right, and then lastly, as part of my video. This is the beginning of the story Hamster Chase. I have all of the pages there for you. Take your time to go through them, discuss them. You'll notice that the author of this book, the author of this book and the inspiration came from Ezra Jack Keats, who we learned about a couple of months ago. And we know that Ezra Jack Keats focused on including kids of all different nationalities, all different color, all different everything. He wanted everyone to be included. And what a beautiful, beautiful way to write. And so this book is in his honor, and these are characters that are part of his story. So you're going to see Peter again, and I hope you remember and have enjoyed our study on Ezra Jack Keats. Okay, so get started. Good luck. I'll see you soon.